Guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, season 2, episode 6. I am your girl, Cinquanta Cox-Smith of www.cinquantacoxsmith.com. Smile for me. So I'm super excited to be back with another episode. And if you enjoyed my recent episode about print on demand versus drop shipping, I think you will love this episode as well. I will be talking about my print on demand story. I just want to go a little in depth and give you some encouragement, also a little timeline of my success in the print on demand drop shipping business, so you know that it did not come overnight for me. There was a lot that I had to do to get through this, so I just want you guys to stay tuned and check out this episode. But before we get into the episode, you know, guys, we are going to do our rapid fire question of the day. The rapid fire question of the day is just a question that I ask myself when I'm here on a solo episode, or when I'm with one of my guests. I ask them a few questions. Make sure that you guys are tuned in on the Coins and Connections Instagram page to answer the question throughout the week on every Saturday when the episode airs. So today, our rapid fire question is, have you been in a car accident? And if you have followed me on Instagram on my personal page, you know that, and I'm not going to say recently because it's not recently anymore. I was in a car accident in November of 2019 when a car pulled out and hit my passenger side where my daughter was sitting and my son was also on that side. And y'all guess what? I am still dealing with that insurance claim. I have got my car fixed. That was a whole total situation. I'm still dealing with back issues. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's almost coming up on 9 months since the accident happened, and I ain't been paid yet, honey. Let me tell y'all, it's been stressful. You just, when something happens, you kind of want it to be done, but also I understand being patient. But I've never known for something to take this long to just be settled. So I just kind of want that to be over and done with, because my family will be moving soon. And this kind of needs to be done. It needs to be done. It needs to be over. So yes, I have been in a car accident. I know that sometimes we don't walk away from these okay. Sometimes they're broken bones. Sometimes they're fatal. But I just want to encourage you guys to always be safe, drive safe, wear your seatbelts, make sure your kids are in your seatbelts as well, because that is definitely what saved us, seatbelts, and then me being super cautious of how I held on to my wheel. And I wasn't distraction. Lord knows if I was on my phone or do something else, it could have been worse. But make sure you're paying attention when you're driving. That is key to just being safe out here. Okay? All right, so we are going to get into the topic of the day. And I want to tell you guys, so my first taste of POD was in 2009, as I told you guys in the previous episode. And that was with Spreadshirt, right? So I did the drop shipping in 2011 on eBay with AliExpress. And I told you guys that. But my first shirts were surrounding around trending topics, which was Travis Porter. I don't know if you guys remember that group. They were a group out of Atlanta, and they sung that song, "Go Shorty, Shorty, Go Shorty, Shorty, Go." She was dancing on the floor, and then go Shorty, go Shorty. Oh no, go Shorty, go. No, I don't forgot the whole song. But I had a scripper pole on the back of my shirt, and on the front it said, "Go Shorty, go." No, "Go Shorty, Shorty." And then on the back I had "Go" with a girl on the scripper pole. And I went into the barbershop one day, and it was like, "Oh, what is that?" I was like, "I made this shirt." I was so proud, y'all. I was so proud. And Spreadshirt sent it right on to my parents' house, because at that time I was living in South Carolina with my parents while my husband was deployed. But y'all, I was so proud of that shirt. And then my second shirt, I did something about the Taylor Swift and Kanye thing when he hopped on the stage and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you finish." But yes, Beyonce had the best album of all time. Y'all remember that when Kanye West hopped on the stage with Taylor Swift, and that was at the MTV music awards. Oh Lord, that was something crazy. So I did a shirt on that, and people got a kick out of that as well. But from there, I did like little things in between, like some of the surveys that I talk about all the time. I did a little dabbling and dibbling. I love saying that now. On different things. I've even sewn, hand cut, iron, fabric, letters on shirts. I've even cut fabric and like cut sleeves off of shirts and then sewed like a fabric sleeve on a shirt. Like I've done this type of things. I've done things where I've taken fabric and taken it to a sweatpants and created like some leather type job. Listen, y'all, I was doing just stuff. Super creative though, but after my stint on Spreadshirt, I still uploaded and created stuff for certain people. When I was doing Body by Vi, I was creating shirts for people, just with their website names on it. I made my girl Gabby some Afro shirt. Listen, I was doing the stuff. And these designs were not pretty at all, but people trusted me, and that's where I started to now being able to put a concept together, create it, design it, and make it look beautiful. I will never call myself a graphic designer though. I just know what I like, and I've been accustomed to what my audience likes. So I published my first book on Create Space in 2014 and my first ebook on KDP in December of 2014. And that was my first introduction into the publishing world. I had written this book a few years before, but I never finished it. When my family moved to Kansas, I decided to go ahead and figure out how to publish this book, and I came across Create Space on YouTube. It was a YouTuber who said she self-published her book. I found the book, and then I went to see who published it, and it was Create Space. I looked up Create Space. I created an account. I finished my book. I had it edited as much as I can. I created the cover, and then I was a published author. So that's kind of how that story happened. After I learned a little bit more, I was able to get a new cover, get my book edited via Fiverr, get a cover via Fiverr, and I re-released my first book. But that was like just my little taste of how to get into the publishing industry, which little did I know it would later on turn into something huge for me to already have experience in the publishing community to create a thriving journal business. So I was consistent for a few years publishing books and creating things on KDP. I was sometimes making money and sometimes making no money. When I tell y'all, my books made me pennies for years. Pennies. You remember I told y'all my first book was published in 2014? I was making pennies. Sometimes $3. Sometimes I could just buy a sandwich. But I did not give up. 3 books. Like I wrote 3 books. And I was making pennies, y'all. The first time that I started making more money in the book industry was when I published my first audiobook and my first poetry book, and that was in 2017. I do not share my poetry stuff with people because it's my little slice of no expectation and just my little piece of heaven for myself, where I don't have to worry about sharing it with anybody else and having expectations of whether it's good or not. People are buying it and they don't know it's me. So to me, it's good, okay? I don't need anybody else to be concerned or feel like they have to support me with that. That is my piece of pie in heaven for myself, right? So, at the end of 2017, we moved from Kansas to Virginia, where we are now. And this is when I was having my complete breakdown, but also a breakthrough. It came after this move, so I'm just going to give you a rundown. So I had just moved to a new city. Check. Car payment was behind like 3 to 4 months. Check. I was depressed and I was suffering from anxiety. Check. I found out I was a pre-diabetic. Check. I couldn't find a job. Check. And I was stressed out and didn't make any friends. Check. I was in my bed every day. I would get up, take my kids, make sure my kids got up for school, and I would get back in the bed. I was depressed. I was I was struggling. It was hard until one day I was at my enough is enough moment. I was like, something has to give. Something has to give. And after I was just doing my normal search on the internet, I came across a video about journals and blank books on CreateSpace. And I was like, what is blank books? And let me tell y'all what's funny. I watched this video before, but it didn't click because it wasn't my time, right? So I watched this video before, but then I watched it again, even though I seen it before because I could see it in my, how sometimes YouTube show you videos you've watched already, but I watched it again. Something drew me to it. Thank you, God. I watched it again and I was like, I know how to upload on CreateSpace. And from that day on, I started writing down ideas. I searched, I joined some Facebook groups. My life changed from that moment, and I found my way back to print on demand 100%. Now, in between all of this, I had a store. I had Coins and Connections, my online store. I started that end of 2016. I had been running that shop. Now, yes, I've been making sales here and there, but it has never been consistent. I've never had a point with my Coins and Connections shop where I made a sale every single day. Maybe a few times a week, but never every single day have I ever made sales. So again, I'm the type of person that when I love something, I will stick with it even when the money isn't there. This is the longest things that I've ever stuck with was print on demand and Coins and Connections. But I knew that once I found that name, that Coins and Connections would be something bigger than that. And it went from an online store to a whole ass podcast, okay? To my whole LLC, to which will be my whole corporation or S Corp or whatever, my headquarters of what I embody, okay? So I know it's going to be something bigger than just that. So I got to stick with it. At this point, I'm all in. So when I first started doing the blank journals and stuff, it wasn't easy. It was probably May 2018. My designs suck. These lines that I was finding like school sheets of wide rule paper and stuff. I think I made $50 the first month, and I was excited about that. And then I told my mom, I was like, "Oh, Mom, it's at $100." And then I told my husband, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's at $500." And then I was making thousands. I was like, when let me tell y'all, when I first hit $500 on KDP, I was ready to cry. But it was motivation for me to go harder, find different niches, keep uploading. I was uploading journals, about 25 journals a day, creating covers from morning to noon. I would sit up in my bed and I would create all day, morning to noon, 25 journals. So next thing you know, I had 500 journals on CreateSpace. And I was just consistent. And then I saw the money grow, and it started growing and growing and growing. And then, in between then I got a part-time job, but because I still needed money, because I still needed to pay my bills. Amazon pays 60 days out, so I couldn't get my money right away. So I did wait. But I was able to catch up on my bills in 2018. And then my fourth quarter, I made $10K in the fourth quarter, which was a first for me that year. And it carried on into 2019. So I was super excited about that. And then in 2019, it allowed me to help my family travel, help me pay down my bills, help me contribute to my household. And as a family in 2019, we went to Pennsylvania, we went to Hershey Park, we traveled to New York, we stayed in Long Island with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law because my niece and nephew, they were running track. We were able to ride the ferry in the city. Like, we did so much touristy thing. I love that. But we had so much fun, and we had the money that allowed us to do it. And then I was able to take 2 solo trips with my husband. We were able to go to New Orleans for Essence Fest last year, and we were also able to just enjoy a full 4-day weekend in Atlanta for my cousin's wedding last year. And I feel like if print on demand helped me be able to do that, it just helped me to be able to not be stressed out from bills or know that I was coming back and something was going to be due because I took that money that I was saving to. No, I had money that would last. I had a savings account. I was able to do the things that I wanted to do. And you might be like, girl, it's 2019 and you were struggling. Yeah. A lot of people are struggling and they won't say anything. But I'm not ashamed because everybody goes through this. Everybody has a story. If you don't have a job, what you expect? Yeah, I was struggling. I didn't have a dime to my name. I knew how to hustle. If I needed a quick $150, $200, I could make that. But that ain't consistent. If my bank account is negative and I don't got no real incomes consistently coming in, yeah, I'm struggling. That $150 that I need to make now to put gas and food on the table ain't the same as how that's going to help me get my account negative. I'm sure there's probably been things in my life that I struggled because I got a hard head. But that doesn't mean that I need to give up. So, and yes, my husband is in the military. And no, we're not rich. We will be one day. And I don't even want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. Because wealth and rich looks different to me, okay? But I've never been the one to not have a job, right? Even if it takes forever to find a job, I've never been the one to not have a job. And in high school, I had 2 jobs and I had my own car. I didn't need it. I was spoiled. But I wanted my own. I wanted to always be able to, hold my own. And right now, I truly enjoy contributing to my family. And I enjoy just spoiling my damn self. Okay, if I want to go buy 10 pairs of shoes, know that I can because that's my money. Okay, but yet my bills are paid. Okay, and even now, even when you're doing good, you can still struggle because your business can come in and wipe your shit out. This pandemic has closed so many businesses that I've seen, that I've visited or frequent around Virginia, that I know that if those big businesses that have been here for years can be wiped out, a small business can be gone like that. So if you are a small business and you're still flourishing, consider yourself blessed in this day and age because shit is hard. Especially if you have employers, if you had to let your employers go, if deals are closed, if you're not having consistent income or you don't know where your next $500 is coming from, it can be extremely hard. So, and then I've also been a stay-at-home wife, not because I wanted to, because I didn't have a job. I couldn't find a job. And even if I found a job, it was like, this job is not paying me enough to even have. So there's so many things that you have to think about. I went to college, but I did not graduate. But that does not mean it makes me any less of anybody else who has a 4-year degree. Because there are people out here who have a 4-year degree who are doing the same thing as me or who have worked at the same type of jobs as me. So therefore, to me, we're on the same level. And if y'all on YouTube, y'all see all my facial expressions. But I love having my own, and I love being able to help create a comfortable lifestyle for my family. Like I said, I've always made some type of money, whether it was surveys, selling my crafts, jewelry, earrings, clothes, sewing. I got gifts. I can braid some hair if I needed to. So there are things that I can do if I need to make money. I can say, hey, I braid y'all hair for $150. I can do that 3 times this weekend and, we done made $600. So it's nothing. Let me stop. But, I feel like if you've already had your enough is enough moment, or you were in there, or it's creeping up and things are piling up, the bills are due, the rent is due, your car payment's late, insurance is late, you can't buy your kids new shoes, and you're at that enough is enough moment, I just want you to go ahead and check out my journal course and my t-shirt course and let your creativity run free. Let it do what it do. They said millionaires are made in recessions. So, you up, boo? All right, guys. So, now we are going to go into our Q Money Bag Style of the Week. And we are moving soon. So, I want to know, am I the only one who is having the struggle of moving a LLC from state to state? Because I had to call a lawyer, because this is a lot of things that they don't teach you in business. So I had to call a lawyer. I needed to figure out the terminology and the things that I may need for my business to move to another state. Laws are different in different states. Fees are different. I just wanted to make sure I'm doing things the correct way, because this will be another hump. I know that my next duty station, wherever we move next, will not be the end. So this could be a process that I will have to repeat. So that's just one of the perks of being a military spouse or a military family. We move a lot of times 2 to 3 years. This would be 10 times harder if I did have a brick and mortar business. Okay. Thank God my business is online, so it's not as hard. But I just want you guys to know that I'm going through this process. I will definitely share what I learned. If there's any tips for any other military spouses or anybody else that may be moving their business from state to state, I just want to help you out, because I'm not seeing a lot of information and I'm struggling, and I really want to be able to go through this process and it be smooth. But I know, I'm just being optimistic that it's going to be good and it's not going to be a lot of headaches. But yeah, there's some who has a class for that. Sign me up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Me sharing my print on demand story, just getting super candid with you guys, letting you know I'm not perfect. It took me a while to be successful. I am still climbing. I'm not where I want to be, but every day I wake up and I get to fucking work and I do what I need to do to just get closer to that next step. I set my goals. I reach them. Sometimes I fail. Sometimes I have to right my wrongs. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes you will lose and you will want to give up. But get back up. Like I said, dust yourself off and try again. And I truly believe that you'll be able to accomplish everything that you put your mind to. Let me tell you, there is nothing out there that you can't do. There's nothing out there that you can't complete. It's all about your willpower, your consistency, and your strength on what do you want your life to look like? What do you want to change in your life? And I just know you're going to get it. It belongs to you. It's for you. It's got your name on it. It's yours. So I hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed this episode. And until next time.